Hello and good day everyone, and welcome back to Adventures with Parker. Today is St. Patrick's Day actually, which is why I'm wearing my green Wonderland shirt here. But of course we are not going to Canada's Wonderland today. It is far too early for that. But we are going to go on our first hiking adventure of season 6. Today I am at Komoka Provincial Park, which is a park located just outside of my hometown of London, Ontario. It is a beautiful day today. It is 20 degrees Celsius, which is I want to say 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but really nice, especially considering a few days ago it was still snowing. So it feels like the first day of spring, and it's even summery. Like, I'm wearing shorts. Like, this is such a nice day. And I mean, I'm not really one to party on St. Patrick's Day, but I did want to get out and enjoy the weather. So here I am. Now, I have been to this park a few times because I've come here to do my research for my thesis. But yeah, I'm really excited to explore some of the parts of the park that I haven't seen before. But yeah, I'm really excited to explore the park and see the sights. So without any further ado, let the adventures begin. So coming right out of the parking lot here, you have this ticket station, and you also have some washrooms, very conveniently located. But something to note is that although it says you have to pay for parking, insider tip, if you're coming on a weekday, you can normally get away without. They don't usually check on weekdays. Mind you, do that at your own risk. I am not responsible if you get ticketed if you do that. But yeah, definitely if you're coming on a weekend, you gotta pay up. But weekdays, you might be able to get away without having to open your wallet. We also have this handy little plaque, mural thing, whatever you want to call it. It gives some history of the park and also a map of all the trails. So right now we are over here. Now, I've explored this part a bit because I've had to do that for my field research. But I haven't fully explored this part of the park, and that is what we are going to do today. But of course, the main feature is this little lookout along the river. You can see over to the Kilworths Heights neighborhood. So I'm very excited to check all that out. So let's go. Now, the first part of the trail here takes you into this open field area. There's some pine trees, but for the most part, it's really open, very different from a lot of other areas of the park. But there were some signs saying that you should stay on these marked paths because these areas are nesting and breeding sites for some local birds. So yeah, please follow those rules when you visit. Yeah, it's a nice little area that welcomes you into the park. Although many provincial parks offer camping and stuff like that, this park is just more for day use, just for hiking around and stuff. This might not be coming across super well on the camera, but this is one of the vantage points that you can look out over the river and the valley. I mean, you can't really see the river in this shot because it's obscured by all these trees. But I think going further down the trail, I'll be able to get a better view. We'll find out. Aha, yes, this looks like a better place to look out over everything. It's only a couple meters down from where I just was. And yeah, look at that. You got the forest, you got the river over there, you got the subdivision way over there. And you're pretty high up too. Like, that is a big slope going down. Now, because you're facing west when you're looking over that cliff there, this would be a great place to come and watch a sunset, which I did try to do last week, but it was so cloudy that we couldn't really see anything. But if you're able to come in the evening, that would be something to see. And of course, I always seem to go on these hikes when the trails are muddy and gross. Thankfully, I'm wearing my hiking boots, so my feet aren't going to get too wet, but yeah, if you only had running shoes, you would have to turn around real quick. We've got another cool plaque here, and this one basically tells you about the geological history of the area. Apparently, if we were here 13,000 years ago, we'd be standing at the shoreline of an older version of Lake Erie. Yeah, lots of information to be learned on this hike. Now, if you were to have taken that fork to the left when you first entered the park, you would have ended up where I am now. I will be continuing on that way. But first, I just want to duck down here because there are some cool birdhouses I want to show off. Yeah, so right out there, we got some birdhouses. Like I said, this whole open, kind of more meadow field area is very important breeding habitat for different kinds of birds. The audio got messed up on this clip, but right now, we're looking at a goldenrod with a nice example of a gull. These big lumps are created by gull flies. who will insert their eggs into the tissues of the goldenrod plant. When the eggs hatch, the larvae will form these galls and live inside them until they are fully grown. Now, many birds like to snack on gallfly larvae, so the presence of these galls here indicates that the birds have a nice, healthy habitat with lots of yummy bugs for them to feast on. I was hoping to see some birds over here, but I haven't really seen any. I mean, I've seen a few, but they weren't close enough for me to identify or, get a good idea of what kind of birds they are. But yeah, just, something to check out if you're here at the park. But now, on with our hike. Back in the forest, it looks like. Still on the muddy trail. Actually, it's not too bad here compared to back there. That was bad. And it's all downhill from here until we go back, in which case we're gonna have to go uphill again. Okay, so it looks like we have another little lookout opportunity. Let's check out the views over here. So peaceful out here. Also, we got a few remnants of ice down there, which hopefully is going away for good. Go away, snow. Your time is over. We've got another info plaque here, and this one is talking about how this park is located in what is known as the Carolinian Life Zone. So for those of you who might be unfamiliar with that, anytime you see the term like Carolinian Life Zone or Carolinian Forest, that just means that we have some species here in southwestern Ontario that are traditionally only found in the Carolinas, but for some reason we have small pockets of them up here. Okay, so this is cool. It looks like we're heading into just a deeper, more dense part of the forest. Feels really seclusive in this part of the park. Kind of feels like, old fairy tales of going into the forest, into the woods, if you will. It's definitely a vibe, and I'm into it. Oh, I can't get over how pretty it is in here. It's so nice, and you got these little patches of sunlight coming through. So peaceful, so nice. I'm so glad I was able to do this today. Ooh, and look at that. We got a little boardwalk to travel across. Let's see where it leads. So it looks like we have some options. We can head straight on the Orange Trail, or we can continue down the White Marks Trail here. And I think I'm gonna do that because we get to cross a little bridge. Very cute. I love little bridges. They make me happy. I don't know why. They just do. I think Elsa's been out hiking today. It's all snow and ice over here. This is a slightly treacherous hike. Oh, the mud and ice. It's just a slipping hazard everywhere you go. But I'm sure it's not like this all the time. Like I said, there was snow on the ground literally a couple days ago. So I can't really blame the trail. Just be aware if you're coming at this time of year that there are hazards. Ooh, okay, so I just took this little side trail and it takes you right up to the water here. Something that I've noticed today is that the water has a real greenish tinge to it. Very appropriate for St. Patrick's Day. I'm not sure why that is though. Might be sediments and stuff, from all the snow melts. I'm not exactly sure, but still, kind of a cool St. Patty's unintentional connection there. We've got another bridge. So exciting. For me anyways. Sounds like we got some howling kiddos up ahead. They are making quite a ruckus. They were behind me for the longest time, and I let them pass me, but... Oh! Oh boy, it looks like we gotta climb up all of those stairs. This is gonna be fun. We made it to the top. But man, was that a big climb. And a lot of the steps are also a little slanted and wonky. Okay. On we go, to the right. Ooh, looks like we're going into a little branch tunnel. I don't know if there's an official term for when it's all dense like this, but oh man, it's so dark and muddy. However, going this way apparently does give you one of the best vantage points of the river that I've seen this entire hike. Definitely worth that big climb up the stairs. So we have another fork in the trail here, but unfortunately no signs to tell us which trail is which. I know this way is going to keep us closer to the water, so maybe I'll just stick with that for now. I mean, it's all part of the adventure, but still, I kind of wish there was better signage so I knew how to plan out my hike, you know? I could always pull up my map. I did film it earlier. The adventure continues. So I think I see a road up ahead, so we might be getting to the far boundary of the park. I mean, it makes sense. We've been walking long enough. We'll keep going and see where we end up, I guess. More birdhouses! Yay, we love protected bird habitats. So yes, this is the park boundary. The entrance where I parked my car is like way down there somewhere. So we're gonna backtrack, and where I turned right at that last fork, I'm gonna turn left. Okay, so that basically led me nowhere. I guess I'm gonna have to backtrack again, and I guess we'll take that orange trail. Yeah, we'll check out some of the interior trails, because the paths we were on before all stayed right by the riverbank, but the other trails, like the orange one, takes you, you know, deep into the forest. So I imagine we'll see some cool things there. So let's go. There's those stairs again, and we're gonna take the orange path. It's like Mission Space. We're doing the orange mission. Still muddy though. And of course, this trail has you climbing right up some hills. Oh, I'm gonna get my steps in today, that's for sure. If you're out hiking, whether it's here or anywhere else, and you come across one of these signs here, that is, well, it says right there, it's where the trail is closed for natural regeneration. So this was once a trail, but now just letting nature take over. So over the years, some plants and trees will kind of grow in and infill this space. Yeah, it just kind of keeps everything fresh, kind of makes sure that, you know, the old trails don't compact the soil too much. Yeah, it just helps make sure that nature can do its thing. So I just came from that direction, but the orange trail is clearly in this direction. So somehow I ended up off of the orange and onto the blue, but I do know this way is the way back to the parking lot, one way or another. So I guess we're taking the blue trail now. That's fun. We get all the colors of the rainbow on this hike. And as you can see, we're in a more open part of the trail now. That is something I'm really liking about this park, is that there's a nice mix of forested areas and meadows, and just some areas that are super dense, some areas that are not so dense. It's good to mix up your scenery while on a hike, because, you know, forests are awesome. I love forests, but, you know, you're just getting more trees and not much else. So yeah, I'm loving the variety. Just wanted to take a moment and share this view with you guys. Like I said, like, I love how there's parts of the park that are wide open like this. So cool. As for us, we are continuing on in this direction. Okay, so if we went down here, that would be our yellow trail. But it looks like the blue trail continues this way. The yellow trail does look really nice, but I think I'm going to stick to the blue trail for now, just because I'm pretty sure I know where this one goes. And it's time to start heading home. It is getting pretty late in the afternoon at this point, so yeah, I think the blue trail is our best bet to make it back to the car. Oh, I'm falling. Oh gosh, we're fine. It's slippery. Be careful. Yeah, these hikes are not ideal for early in the spring because there's just so much mud and so many slopes around the park. Yeah, it's I smell a skunk. That's not good. Oh God, yeah, I must be close. Nature, gotta love it. I can see my car from here. We're almost back at the parking lot. Oh, thank goodness. I was starting to get tired. Just as we are leaving the park now, I am going to give you my overall thoughts on everything. First and foremost, like I said before, I love how these trails incorporate different environments and kind of different little habitats within the park. It really has a nice variety. And of course, from more of an ecological standpoint, it provides lots of habitat for different kinds of species. It's just great for the wildlife. It's great for hikers. So that is definitely a big plus about this park. I also like that there's kind of a mix of accessibility. Like when you first come into the park, it's very flat until you get to those little lookout points. So if you just want to come and look out over that little valley there, anyone should be able to do that. But if you're in the mood for a more strenuous hike, as I was today, it does have your fair share of more strenuous hikes with inclines and stuff like that. I think my only real negative about the park is that it's very muddy, very slippery. Again, that does have a lot to do with the time of year I'm visiting. I imagine it's a lot drier in the summer. But as for my experiences here today, it was not the most ideal. And then in terms of facilities, there's a nice big parking lot. You shouldn't have any issues with parking. And it's nice that they have washroom facilities right out front. But make sure you use them at the beginning of your hike because there aren't any other facilities along the trail anywhere else. Oh man, the wind is messing up my hair here. ignore this. But if I were to give one piece of advice for Komoka Park, it would be to take a picture of that trail map before you head on out. Because the white trail is pretty straightforward. But if you decide to venture onto all of the other little branches like the orange trail and the blue trail, it can get a little confusing, and there are some places where I found it wasn't super clearly marked. So it would be handy to just have that map, right on your phone for you to reference whenever you need it. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on this hiking adventure today, our first hiking adventure of season 6. And actually, I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being my first non-Orlando bound video of the season. So yeah, things are happening on the channel. Speaking of which, if you enjoyed this adventure and would like to see more of my other adventures, which include theme parks, travel, local attractions, and the outdoors, be sure to subscribe because I do all sorts of things on this channel that you're probably gonna enjoy. At least I hope so. You can also find me on social media at ADVParker. And yeah, once again, thanks for watching. And as always, the adventures are calling. See ya. And of course, we can't have a St. Patrick's Day adventure without a stop to get a shamrock shake from McDonald's. My stomach's gonna hate me later. And this road here is Gideon Road, Drive, Street, Gideon something.